Okay, haven't done a video for a while. I put this on the back burner for a while because it was getting my nerves. I wasn't getting anywhere with the problem with the voltages on these DACs. And I've changed a couple of chips in the meantime, and I've done various things. You can see the chips that are on headers have been replaced, going round and round in circles, not getting anywhere at all with it. I posted some messages on the forums, and no one seems to have got any idea of what could be wrong with it. So, pretty frustrating in the last month or so, but not as frustrating as it turned out this evening. I've sort of more or less given up with trying to work out what it was. I thought, well, I'll just use the machine for spares. I mean, but you know, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, why doesn't it work? Why can't I find the fault? I can't find anything obviously wrong. No one else, you know, with more experience with these machines can work out what it is. So I finally did what I said I wasn't going to do, and was get the other 2440 out and put it on the bench beside and power it up in the same state to compare voltages. And that machine works perfectly well. So I went straight. First thing I did was went to the op amp that should have the 12-volt swing on it. Did exactly the same operation I do on this one to do that, and it's the forced DAC mode, which basically pushes the DAC to one side, the voltage up to one side, and expecting to see 12 volts, and sure enough, the unit that works perfectly well has only got 3 volts on it. So it's a bloody typo in the service manual. So I've spent about 15 quid's worth of chips replacing, nights after nights sitting out here trying to work out what's going wrong, and after all, there was nothing wrong with that particular part of the circuit. It was something else altogether. There was one chip, however, that had failed, and it was this chip here, and that you could never adjust the graticule brightness on it, and I thought it was probably just the bulbs had gone, but it wasn't. There was no voltage, and all that was a chip that had popped. And basically, that's an op amp that drives the bulb circuits. I don't know if you can see the bulb circuits down here. This is the bulbs here, and it's one of these chips here. It's that chip there that drives the light circuit. So that's working. Now the scope does work up to a lower frequency. But this is what I found this evening. Sorry, we're on the side. I have to run it with this cooling fan on it because these hybrids run so hot. It does say in the manual you must have them force cooled all the time. These are the peak detectors. These are the CCD devices. They need quite a flow of air on them, so that's why the scope's running on its side, and I can't really turn it over. If I turn the camera around, it goes into portrait mode, and it's worse than it is now. So what I'm going to show you something this evening, and I've only just found this out, and I think this is hopefully what we're having problems with. Let's quit that a minute. Started the process off now. Okay, let it run its self-diagnostic program. Now, I've been through this sort of diagnostic program a dozen times, and all it seemed to fail was on CCD, preamplifiers, and triggers. Now, I've been to the manual, and the manual was basically putting me into looking at the DACs, which is what I've spent the last month checking, and obviously got nowhere. So I've been going through it in a bit more detail. You see here, I don't know if you can see how bright this is on the screen. It's difficult to know how bright to put this on the screen because it does sort of wash out. I'm just looking at it now. But you can see here, it's failed extended diagnostics. And the first thing it looks like it fails on is CCD. Now we know this, we've been through all this, and you can get certain parts of it to pass. But you can see here, and I've never noticed this before, it says check some non-volatile RAM. It says pass, but it's got an exclamation mark on it. So I thought, I've never noticed that before. So I'll go down to check that particular part. So let me just scroll down. I've got the front panel off, so it's not so easy to use. And then we go run select. Now if you look here, it's passed on these two things, but not on the other two. So if you scroll down, I'll run a self-test on this calibration constant. So as soon as I press this, watch what happens. It comes up with hardware failure, see manual, So okay, we go back. So we try another one. Let's try this FP last. I assume that's floating point. Let's run that selected one. And we'll execute that. Same thing, hardware problem, see service manual. Okay, so we go back. So it looks like I can't get any of these to pass. If we just try and run the whole thing, so we go through and select the checksum mode. So we've now highlighted the checksum test. And we're going to run. You've got a mode to select. Run until fail. We're going to do that straight away. Run until pass and select. And straight away it crashes the thing and says run until pass. Let's try it again. No, hardware problem, see service manual. So it actually now looks like there's an NVR problem, a memory problem, memory address problem, possibly even a corrupted EEPROM or something like that. So this is going to be the next sort of path of sort of investigation, the memory side of the thing. Now I haven't got the service manual here, but I'm going to go through the service manual and see what it says about this error. Now it's strange because it's not obvious when you're on the previous screen. If you go back to the previous screen, it looks like that's passed. You just look along here, pass, and these have failed here. But I think the reason why these have failed here is if you look, the checksum's got a problem with it, and it can't continue any further because it probably stores data in non-volatile RAM for calibration, things like that, and it's not doing that, so everything's out of whack. So I think basically the CCDs, the preamplifiers and the trigger, there's no problem at all with them. It's just I can't store calibration in the non-volatile RAM. So that's where we are with that at the moment. Sorry I haven't made any videos recently. I've also bought a new toy. Some of you probably know I bought a drone for taking photographs of aerial photography and things like that. Not for buzzing the neighbour's daughter or anything like that. Just to get some decent shots of storms and things in the summer. Hopefully when we get some summer. But that's the story so far on the 2440. And hopefully I'll do an update if I find any more information. Thanks for watching.